Are they intimidating these Arab states? Are they trying to manipulate them? How can we understand the behavior of these countries in terms of any sort of attack on Iran?
This is intimidation. Just take Qatar as an example. Israel got away with launching an airstrike on Doha. I honestly, I couldn't see that coming. I thought that would have been a red line because the Qataris host a major U.S. military facility there, and that's totally pivotal to the U.S. presence in the region. So why would America risk that? Hitting a target in Doha. When we talk about Doha, we talk about Bahrain, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia as well, you can throw in here. The inward investment into these countries, it's all predicated on stability and safety. The Israelis really did some damage there to this kind of force field that was always around the Emirates and Qatar. It says that the United States is not going to protect any of these. There's now an understanding in the region among Arab countries that before the U.S. and through the sort of normalization process, the Zionization of the Arab world had sold this idea that Iran was the biggest threat to the Gulf's Emirates and to the oil sheikdoms in the region. And that's no longer the case. Now Israel is regarded as the biggest threat to Arabs. This is a consensus that has formed in the last year. Now, what are the ramifications of that? Qatar, it's not safe for them to host any Palestinian negotiations, delegations. That could draw not just overhead drone attacks or Air Force attacks, but targeted assassinations, terrorist attacks by Israel. They've done all this before. I'm sure they're prepared to do it again. Now there's pressure being put on Egypt that Egypt might host, be facilitating negotiations. At the same time, Israel begins making noises. They're concerned that Hamas terrorists, as they call them, are crossing over into the Sinai along with refugees and medical evacuees from Gaza. They're building a narrative that there's a Hamas presence in the Sinai. So this is exactly what happened in 1978 when the PLO was pushed out of Palestine into places like Lebanon, into Syria, to Lebanon, into Jordan. And Israel used that as a pretext to attack, invade, and occupy South Lebanon for strategic reasons and security reasons. And that went for decades. You see the same principles here, which is Israel can create situations in Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, in all of the surrounding countries, even in the Emirates, where they say we have a right to defend ourselves. And so whether Egypt wants to be involved or not, they will be dragged into a conflict with Israel if Israel wants to do that. No one can strike Israel back because the overwhelming force, no one will restrain Israel unless they're ready to go to war with Israel. Israel's a nuclear armed country. You're looking at a really horrible situation in the region